We need you. Come down, bring a tent. If you don't have one, that's okay. We've got heaps of spares. Come and DM the page if you want to find out how you can join us. Together, we can free Palestine.
The tide of anti-Semitism comes in all different shapes and sizes, but a most blatant show of it is at Intolerance Central, the historic Great Lawn of Sydney University. Universities have always been hotbeds for activists, but this is next level. For the best part of a month, students, academics, visitors to campus, everybody has copped this. Anti-Israel, anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic, and just plain anti-social. Day in, day out, noisy protests, mindless chanting, almost daily rallies. Encampment is the official name for it, but it looks more like an occupation, or a squat. They say they're all about peace. Really? This appears to be more about the symbolism and the virtue signalling. It's bring your own keffiyeh scarf that you bought just last week. And how many of the tents here are actually occupied? Or are they just theatre? Pitched, but as we found out, mostly empty.
Hello?
There's a common theme here. Intimidation, propaganda, censorship, and control of the media. It was the sort of control you'd expect in the Soviet Union, not at Sydney University. Despite our efforts, no one organising the university pro-Palestine or pro-Hamas protest camp would speak or even be open to questions. So what's this really all about? Far from being a harmless, peaceful protest, it's designed to be offensive, and it's threatening to Jewish students, and as we found, anyone else who dares question them.
Whether it's the Guardian,
actually asked us
whether it's the Guardian or the
observational media ethics. Yeah, that's
thank you. That'll help with the shade. Look, you could look at the Guardian, the ABC. There's always going to be someone you don't like there. So,
excuse me, that is so invasive.
On the internet there are people you don't like, so you can't sort of.
Perhaps they're used to people who just agree with them about everything, or having a block button. But real life doesn't work that way. Occasionally we'd find someone who seemed mature enough to have a chat.
Condone what happened on October 7th, by any means.
But every time we tried to talk to the activists, someone claiming to be in charge rushed in to shut it down. So much for freedom of speech.
Would you agree that Hamas is a terrorist organisation?
Sorry, we have a camp media team who take on media inquiries.
I actually don't want to talk to media. I want to talk to sort of ordinary people. But I'm happy to talk to you. I'm happy to talk to you, but would you mind if I finished the conversation I was having a moment ago?
Yeah, I think that
because we were having a nice conversation.
People who are organising this have let us know that they would prefer if you speak to their people. So
perhaps it's because every now and then the mask slips and someone utters an inconvenient truth about what this protest is really all about.
We at Students Against War, we at Solidarity, we have unconditional but critical support of Hamas. We believe that all Palestinians have a right to resist.
Word travels quickly.
You don't consent? Well, so it looks like now that you're trying to intimidate a cameraman.
And the university just tolerates it. The security guards have to keep watch on this debacle around the clock. But are they also watching out for Jewish students?
When you see that, people aren't even allowed on campus just for wearing a Star of David like me, I'm appalled. And it's just the spitting image, like you said, of what happened in 1939. A symbolism of our religion is completely illegal and completely rejected by the government. Here in this case, it's other students rejecting it. I mean, it's a spitting image. It's a spitting image of what's happening, and it's gradual. First, it starts with that, and then who knows what they want. Who knows?
I suppose I'd say to them, I'm sorry that they feel upset that the encampment is there. It is a big university. It's a very large university, and it's very possible to work your way around the university and not be confronted by the encampment. But at the moment, by and large, overwhelmingly, that encampment has been peaceful. I am determined to try and keep the university as safe as we can, and that's why I'm not going down the United States route. At the United States route, they've kind of tried to clear out the encampments, and that, as you've seen, has triggered terrible violence. Police in riot gear on campuses, an unleashing of destruction of property and widespread anti-Semitism. We've had nothing like that here. We've had some tough moments, and you referenced Peter Morgan. I apologised to Professor Morgan on Friday. That was a terrible incident, but by and large it's been an isolated incident, and we have tried to keep this encampment as peaceful and as calm as can possibly be.
One academic tells of having masked anti-Israel activists storm one of his classes, intimidating everyone in sight. He received an apology from Vice-Chancellor Mark Scott, but despite this misconduct by activists, the camp was still allowed to stay and the protesters faced no consequences. There are some seriously bad groups behind all of this. The Socialist Alliance is never far from the scene. And there's the habitual anti-Semitism of the Greens.
The VCs of these universities or complicit politicians will not be able to extinguish these flames of freedom and justice. And Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thank you so much.
But consider what it's like being a Jewish student on the campus in this climate. Then consider what it's like for every other student simply attending the university. These students are graduating, and on such a memorable day, this is the backdrop. Their photos ruined.
I don't know, actually. I don't know what is happening.
How do you feel about what's happening behind you on the day of your graduation?
Yeah, I'm aware of this issue. Definitely is a problem, yeah.
Has it affected you as a graduating student?
Yes, yeah.
May I ask how?
Just like I have graduated, but the events have been happening and my sister's still at university, so it definitely is an issue, yeah.
So you're not happy about it?
No.
I'm standing on the bridge that thousands of students cross every day on their way into the University of Sydney. As you can see, it's been absolutely wallpapered with posters put up by the Palestinian activist groups. Students are walking past this every day, and if any of these posters are removed, 10 will immediately replace it, rather like kicking anthills. Now, this is propaganda, and it's fair to say every side of an argument is going to put propaganda, but at a university about the exchange of ideas, this is not a discussion, this is a shouting match. And as you saw, when we actually tried to talk to people from the same group that's putting up these posters, they simply didn't want to speak. That's not a conversation, that's a shouting match, and it's something that students at the University of Sydney are forced to confront every single day on their way in.